So every now and then I find a Linux distro that it doesn't seem to be as popular for whatever reason. And most distros, of course, are based on something else. So many of them are based on Ubuntu or Debian or Fedora or Red Hat, heck, even Slackware. But you don't get many distros that are based on Opensuse or Opensuse. And I came across Regatta OS. Regata, in case you don't know, I believe is an OS that's from Brazil, and Regata, the direct translation into English, means basically a competition of rowing boats or ski boats. And if I have that wrong, feel free to give me the correct translation in the comments. Point being, this distro is from Brazil and it's specifically aimed around gaming, and you can even see from their website, I've gone to the English one, and they're talking about their own little app store. They're talking about the different games, game access, game modes, and how even notebooks with hybrid graphics. So generally that's the often the Intel and NVIDIA cards, how it has the prime settings easily available, which is, I think, fantastic. And having dug a little bit deeper on their site, they even talk about their features, how easy it is to access a couple of online content like, Google Cloud, and installing additional software and applications, and how they support transferring things to your one's phone using KBA Connect. They have hardware and accelerated graphics, etc. And then on top of that, of course, how they've got the game access, which essentially is a app store that gives access to GOG, Battle.net, Epic, Ubisoft, and Origin, and all of this stuff. But what I really thought was interesting, apart from all of these on their website, is they even have their own magazine. So their own digital magazine, I see it doesn't seem to get updated too often, I don't know. But essentially it has, different articles of their updates to the OS, some of the games around it, some of the new apps and tutorials, which I think is it's a nice addition to it. It's kind of, especially for a unusual distro, I thought it's just a nice additional point. But what we're really interested in, of course, is trying out the OS. So I've downloaded the ISO, which is 64-bit ISO. So Regata, and we're going to type in here Opensuse. I'm just going to choose factory. I believe it's based on Leap, so no tumbleweeding here. And then let's give this about 18 gigs. So yeah, it should be quite interesting. Let's finish that up and start this up. Okay, so Regata OS. And we'll do a quick installation, and then we'll look at what it has to offer. Well, up too long to do a virtual boot up, thankfully. Let this just start. Okay. It's days of time. Okay, so let's go to install. Okay, customised installer, erase disk. Doesn't give us much more options than just to erase disk. Okay, consistent use ext4. But okay, the other options there, just click next to erase and we'll let it do its thing. And we'll take it from there. I assume the additional settings will be coming now. Let's see. Sure. Next, allow perfect keyboard settings, user settings, a strong password. Well, that can't log in automatically. Let's just hit setup. Interesting way of doing this with customised installer, making it first do the basic install and then the config afterwards. Haven't seen that in a distro in a while. Okay, so you can see defaults to X11. I'm going to keep it on X11 for now. And of course, this uses KDE out of the box. There is no ISO for another GUI. Of course, you could install that afterwards if you really wanted to. But let's first fix the display. So let's go to system settings. I'm just going to give this a dark theme so it's easy on the eyes. Display and monitor. Turn 80 to that. Okay. I think I forgot to save that. Okay, so let's start off. We go to about 527 KD Plasma, newer version, using kernel 6.37. So definitely been updated more recently, which is, I think, actually really great to see that. But yeah, let's start off with the Regata OS store. And of course, here we go. Really putting quite in front of you, not only games, but some alternative software options, GIMP, VS Code, and if then discover, I like this, discover, create, play, work, develop, utilities, and install. So let's try installing something quick. So external, hit install. Okay, I can see pending installations occupied. The installer. Okay, starting installation. Okay, so it's busy downloading it there. Installation error. Okay. View the log. Okay, it just tells us a couple of things which are deactivated by default here. I do wonder if it didn't come up, possibly because of an update. So let me open up the update screen. And you can see what they have done. They've kind of built a couple of the little applications on top of what Opensuse offers. Interesting for me that they don't seem to make use of a sort of a yes turning by default, although I do see it is installed. So I can open up yes. Yet another setup tool, which of course is really one of the best things about Opensuse. Let's check what software repos they're using by default. I do like that even though they've built their own apps on top, you can go and use the default that's available. It's pretty cool. Okay, so you can see over here, this is Leap 15.4, and they've basically looks like they're using all of Sysa's repos here. And of course some of their own as well. Really interesting. And of course quite a few things there for gaming, which makes sense. Okay, so all apps are up to date. Okay, well then I'm going to try this install again. Just out of interest. Regatta OS. And let's close that. Do you have this worked? Share. Concluded. Okay, so it needed to be updated. Okay, so external. Okay, so this does work. Okay, good. Interestingly, it didn't ask us for any credentials to install software. Interesting way of doing it. But as you can see, Kate Development, Games, Steam, Regata, a tool, graphics, internet, multimedia, Office application pre-installed, settings, wine, tricks, system. Pretty lean. So as much as this is based on SUSE, it's typically pretty lean, multi-minute Office application pre-installed. But again, that's why you have this option here in their store. So you can go and install your own apps. It's just pretty interesting. Okay, well, let's move on to what we're really interested in, game side. So here we have game access, all games, settings. Enable a DFSR, shown the PS of games access. Okay. So, consume, okay, and it's available by launcher. So, EA App, Battle.net, GOG Galaxy, Epic Games, so Epic Games Store. I wonder if that installs Epic Games Store, if it installs a third-party tool. Okay, I don't know, that seems to be happening. Okay, so it's ours to choose StarCraft 2. Taking some Battlefield, so yes. And so it's now going to be downloading all the additional stuff here for Battlefield. Oh, let me refresh for the Battle.net installer. This would be using wine on the back end. And I'm just checking to see what other settings are. Max Q. Okay, so this is another tool here. And this here gives us to use balanced or high performance for the CPU power and the desktop effects. Performance. System details. Can't detect the backup chipset. And I see under this tool is probably where you would go and configure to use hybrid graphics or not. Okay, that's compatibility mode. And let's admit though, I find this very fascinating. Okay, well, I don't know. Huh? That's just logs us out? Really? That's it? And let's go back. Still praying for compatibility mode, okay. Interesting that. And then, so yeah, here's what I was going to say. It's nice to see, it's just, Opensuse being used for something else. And I like the idea behind this with additional focus on gaming, additional controller software. So we can see here SC controller, so you can configure it with whatever type of controller you're using, the Xbox controller, etc. And let's see, the idea behind this is to get someone really up and running quickly with gaming. I am a little bit concerned that you can install stuff from the App Store without having to authenticate. And just, especially from a Linux safety standpoint. Out in the box. Let's check the terminal. So if I need to go Okay, so then I still just need to authenticate. Good. Why did this error out? Interesting. Install with Warcraft. Yeah, we do want to install Battle.net. Yeah, I mean, installing these type of things can be interesting. Okay, here it is. So it does seem to be that when you need to install software, sometimes you need to install it more than once. Or you need to try and install them more than once. We saw that earlier with the previous software, now with this as well. Let's say we want to launch it. It's fine. We're not going to play any games here. Because the virtualization GUI is not going to support it. Remember, it was great to see some of these options that are here. Whereas this for a while, if you've got a machine around and the games that you want to be supported in Linux, and you want to get your machine up and running quickly to do some gaming in Linux, and you don't want to use some of the other conventional distros, why not try and use this? It's different, but definitely capable, and can customize it to use whatever additional software you want to add to it. I don't know about how how the upgrade path is. I assume there'll be a new update for this once they create it, so that you can go up to Leap 15.5. At least hope so. Lord, that's always something to bear in mind. Just checking some of the user's configuration that's set up by default, because again you can see, okay, especially reading that. And I've got Battle.net installed. Well done. Still, nothing happens with every game, so that's sad. And this is taking quite some time. So it's definitely not necessarily the fastest either. I'm just going to check my user and the details here. What groups are part of Wheel, which of course is the crimp for sudo password settings. Plugins. Okay, nothing abnormal around here. I was just interested more than anything. And then I just want to check the defaults for new users. Yeah. Let's close all of this. Interesting that I have the Amazon Prime, I think, App Store. I don't know how popular that is. But yeah, I kind of feel like they've got all the launches here, and that one's missing. But not a train smash. Forward up, I've got Galaxy. Similar person. Play button. And I'm sure they'll be in the background. We'll start at some point. And here it is. Okay, so yeah, it's just sure I want to get up and running with gaming, and it's going to be supported for a while. Leap OSs are basically, I think, they're supported for 18 months, except only for 6 months after the next version's been released. So since 15.5 Leap has been released, hopefully there's going to be an update soon for this. You don't want to use an older version. And of course, here, the last app here, there their support app for their tutorials and support, which is pretty nice. Again, a bit of documentation that's available, how to connect, installing new apps. You can just click around here and it tells you exactly what to do. Okay, thanks for watching the video, and as always, feel free to leave your comments. Bye for now.